السلام على أشرف رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين أما بعد. Respected scholars of Islam, honorable judges and my dear student friends gathered here on this very auspicious occasion of State Level Prathibotsav SSF 2015. May I welcome all of you with the greetings of Islam. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. The topic that I'm going to address today is the role of youth in the development of the country. We know that youth is the strength, youth is the power of a country. If you are finding a criteria to find the development of a country, to measure the development of a country, the basic criteria that the people look into the development of the country is the development of the youth. If the youth is developed, if the youth is educated, and if the youth can able to express themselves, expose themselves to the society, then that country is called as a developed country. And especially as far as the country that we are living in India, the country so-called India, it's being called as a youth country because the 70% of the population are youth. So it is important that the youth of the country need to be educated. The youth of the country need to be well versed with the topics, with all kind of their attitude towards the people that living in the country. So that it is being mentioned in a hadith. Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said very clearly, there are two things that my nation will forget. Two things which are important, which are vital in the life of a human being, but they're forgetting it. One is the free time that they get, and the second one is the youth time. So that their age of youth, which will be questioned in the day of judgment, you will not able to lift your legs unless otherwise Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will question you about your youth. How did you spend your youth? How did you consume your age as a youth? Unless otherwise you give a convincing answer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You cannot lift your hands, you cannot lift your legs from the day of judgment. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will question you, will question you on the day of judgment about the youth time that has given for you. So we know that there is a famous quote which says that you don't need any pressure to push a person who is going down on a wrong road. May I repeat again, you don't need any pressure, any motivation to push a person down who is going down on a wrong road, but he needs education to turn him around. We are lacking education in this country. So unless you educate them, unless you educate the youth, you will not able to find any sort of development in the country. So youth are the very basic pillars of the country. Unless this youth is being developed, unless the youth can stood up in the nation, unless this youth can find in the politics of the nation, because as a great writer said that the biggest problem in India is not that the political condition has become worsened. It is because the good people, the good young people are not ready to go to the politics because it is so worst. This is the bad condition. It is not that the politics is bad. It is because the good people who can administer this country, who can rule this country, are not ready to go to the politics of the country, politics of the nation. That is the biggest problem. So unless otherwise this youth go to the politics, unless otherwise this youth go and expose themselves in the politics, there we are not going to find any development. We are seeing a lot of developments in the country, which is in the name of intoxication and drugs. That is how the youth has become. They are intoxicated just mere for the cause of temporary pleasure, just mere for the cause of temporary pleasure that can make them happy for a few seconds. They're running behind it. They're running behind the pleasure. They're running behind happiness. They're running behind contentment, which they don't know that it's not long lasting. So this youth, unless otherwise they provoke themselves, because we can see as far as the country India is concerned, there are a lot of problems, especially when I listed down the problem of rape, the problem of harassment against women, the problem of political corruption, the problem of economy. As far as the economic condition is concerned, it has been worsened because of the simple reason youth are not getting involved in it. Unless otherwise, this youth the strength of the nation, the strong pillar of the nation. Get involved in the public, get involved in the politics. You cannot find any sort of changes in the country. Let the change be you. Let the change be the each and every youth of the country, so-called India. That's when you can find the development in the country. Not because of giving vote to a person who is a brand himself. We don't want a person who is a brand. We want a person who can make India as a brand. Not making himself popular in the outer countries. Not making himself popular abroad as a brand. We don't want people to develop themselves. Make India and brand. Then say it is a development. Don't just develop your self-image and say that India is improving. India is not improving unless otherwise. This youth has given the freedom. This youth has given the freedom to go to politics. Unless otherwise, you go and change the mentality of youth. Unless otherwise, you people go and develop. You people go and develop the mentality that you can go to politics. Politics is a pure place. It is not the worst place that you cannot go and touch it. It is not a place which is untouchable. It is a place where you can access, where you can go and show your powers, where you can go and show your dignity to the nation. May I conclude my speech. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protect all of us and make this India country a beautiful place to live in. I conclude with a beautiful message to this entire universe that it is possible to live in peace. Akhiru dawana alhamdulillah rabbil alamin. Assalamu alaikum.
General English